Hi, I'm Skeletons. I make cartoons for a living. I see a bunch of comments saying, what's your favorite TV show? What cartoon do you like? There's sometimes a different answer, probably like Adventure Time or a regular show. But number one will always be number one, and that is Courage the Cowardly Dog. Now, Courage the Cowardly Dog is probably one of the smartest and is one of my favorite fucking TV shows of all time. I fucking love this show to death. Until this very day, I still watch it time to time. And even though that I'm still an adult, I can still actually enjoy it and just have fun with it. Usually that just comes down to saying that, oh, I like the animation, it's really fun, I love it. And that's usually the end of it. But I also kind of always wanted to go very in depth of why I love the show so much. So this video is basically me going into a very long tangent of why I love the show. So let's go into it. Now, the only simple summary that you can say to anybody when they want to get into the show is that there are two old people and a dog, and that they live in the middle of nowhere and sometimes strange things happen. That is such a simple story plot, but they never really look at the middle part. And that is where I'm going to talk about. Let's talk about the middle part, because I fucking love that shit. Creature designs. I fucking love creature designs. They're so much fun. I love drawing them, and I love designing them. Now, the reason why I really like this is that it also brings up a different point of why I like the show. Every single creature, if it's not 2D animation, is in a different type of animation. For example, most people actually remember this dude, or that girl. Now, the reason why I like these designs is not because they're ugly or that they're horrifying, was because that you did not expect these to come out in a kids show or in a 2D animation show. Now, what I like about these is that it always just brings out in a different type of animation. 3D animation, claymation, photography, animation, that is the shit that I fucking love. And to be honest, I kind of wish that there were more TV shows like this, because I really enjoy them experimenting a lot. That's why when Pop Team Epic came out, I just loved how in these sections is so dumb, but I love it because it actually reminds me of when I was a kid, or that when we went to Newgrounds and we just saw this shit. It was just so fun, and I fucking love that shit. It was so fun, and sometimes when they just break out of character, it takes you out of nowhere. It just makes you just be like, what the fuck am I watching? That's kind of why I feel about Courage the Cowardly Dog, because it just makes it feel like I'm watching a different show. And because, oh, it's a kid's show, you shouldn't enjoy it because it's a kid's show. You don't even need to be a kid to enjoy this show, because not only that, it doesn't actually play down to your audience, but it actually encourages you to actually think more about what you're watching, and it's actually kind of clever in a way. I like the show because it didn't force me or pander to me of why I should like the show, because oh, it's for kids. That's stupid. The animation of the show is so beautiful. I just don't understand how these people were able to make the show. It's just so, I love it. Every time when I see Courage screaming and he's always having this crazy ass fucking reaction, it makes me fucking have like tears of joy. Not really, but you get the picture. The thing is I fucking love his crazy ass reactions where he just rips off his skin and he shows all his bones to fucking like vomiting out his fucking organs out. That is so fucking cool. I love the crazy ass animations that they're able to do. That is just coming out. It's so great. I love it. And that's another point I really like it. It's funny. Sometimes when Courage isn't even a character that talks that much. And sometimes just one word of him being like, the things I do for love. It just cracks me up because it's just so funny to me. Every time when he's going out of his way just to save Muriel, and like he's always has to actually save her all the time, and he's just like, oh god, I'm just the dog. Gosh, why is he fucking goofy? I'm gonna beat my meat. There are actually episodes that actually got me to cry. Mostly of just the squid one, and the one where you find Courage's mother. Now, I'm not gonna go too in depth because I do also want you guys to watch it yourselves, because it's such a powerful moment just watching these episodes. It somehow actually touched me in a very different way. Why I really like it is that actually it's not always action heavy, it's not always horror heavy. It's an all around good show. It does horror well, it does action very well, and sometimes when it actually needs to be quiet and it actually needs to be, emotional in a way, it works very well. I love it. I don't think I've knew a show that actually did it in this type of way. I never knew a cartoon show that goes into horror and just breaks your immersion and just shows a monster like that. I don't think I've ever seen a show that made me want to do cartoons. I remembered sitting down, and I think you can call this as nostalgia in a way. I remember just sitting down in front of the TV and just watching Courage, and I'm just eating. And I kept thinking to myself that I want to make that. That I wanted to make a cartoon show. That was the only show that ever got me to say that I always wanted to make a cartoon like that. Just a show that got me into horror, and it also got me into doing animations. Also got me into wanting to make them myself. Of course, I can say other TV shows that also did that too, like Adventure Time and Regular Show. But mostly, I just love Courage. Courage was the one show that was always there and that I always watched. And that I always just loved putting it on. And yeah, SpongeBob was kind of better, and Fairly Odd Parents was okay, but it was never in the level of Courage, you know? It was never in that type of level. And you can say that it's nostalgia because, well, I am nostalgic of the show. I love the show. But I think it's just genuinely a really good show. When it needs to take itself serious, it does take itself serious. Those episodes that I watched, like Return to Slab or that weird ass fucking fetus thing that looks so gross. Why do you ew? But it also gave me those experiences, and I never talked about a show that gave me that many experiences. Got me scared, and I kind of grew up from being scared to actually just wondering how they were able to make this animation, how they were able to animate Courage, and how they were able to animate all these different and weird and unique creatures. And I remember listening to some theories talking about Courage, and one of the theories is that all of the creatures that come inside the house are actually human beings, and that you're actually looking at the perspective of the dog. I really do believe that. I believe that full-heartedly. That theory is very much... If you didn't actually tell me it was a theory, I would have believed you. Because not only that it's such a clever way, but it also kind of shows, like, the perspective of the dog. Most of the shots are mostly just looking up on the creature, and sometimes you just see that, like, all of the Muriel and Eustace is just acting normal, and the only person who is very concerned is Courage. I love this show. I wish that more people talk about this show. This is a very good show if you want to get into animation. If you just love animation and horror and you love just genuinely having a good time, I suggest just watching the show yourself. I think it's on Netflix. If not, then you can just go onto YouTube and just watch it yourself. Courage the Cowardly Dog, definitely would say that it was my childhood. And I want to say it to any of the animators, or any of the storyboard artists, or anybody who actually made this show, and somehow they're watching this video that some loser made. Thank you. This is probably the outro right now. I want to say thank you to everybody who is watching this video. And if you have watched Courage the Cowardly Dog, please actually put up your favorite parts in the comment section below. Tell me what you like about it. And if you're watching it right now, tell me how you feel about it. Like, comment, subscribe even if you want to see more of this. I do make weird creature designs. And yeah, I think that's it. Have a good night, and stay dead, everybody.